If you don't want suboptimal CPUs, you really need to subscribe and like this video. There is literally no other way. Things are definitely moving fast in the laptop scene, yeah. Intel launched its 10th gen Mobile H series that targets 45 watt TDP at base clocks. And let's start with meaningful improvements. Except for minor improvements, such as integration of Wi-Fi 6 and support for slightly faster RAM, these are basically rebranded 9th gen processors. If we take a look at the base clocks, we can already tell that efficiency hasn't improved that much. The lineup has a lot of processors and a lot of details, but I think we can greatly simplify it and see what it actually boils down to without losing any meaningful information. The first filter is that unless pricing is the major concern for you above all else, it makes no sense whatsoever to buy a 4-core 45 watt processor in 2020. And that leaves us just with 4 options. But we can make a step further. Those 4 processors can be grouped in just 2 SKUs, the 8-core and the 6-core. Each of these SKU has 2 processors, but their difference is a measly 100 MHz. That's really less than 5%. The lower end 10th gen 8-core named i7-10875H is strikingly similar to the 9th gen i9-9880H, and it's the same story with the 6-core 10th gen i7-10750H and the 9th gen i7-9750H. But these new processors have a significantly higher boost clock, right? Wrong. These advertised high boost numbers really refer to a marketing trick called thermal velocity boost. That means that those numbers are really possible only under 65 degrees Celsius, after which the maximum boost steps down a notch, and then after 85 degrees Celsius another notch. The boost under 65 degrees Celsius is pointless. It might actually hurt performance overall, since you will get to those high temperatures faster. And consider that Intel has actually put engineering resources into making these useless features instead of focusing on actual innovation. This is just pure marketing for the sake of being able to claim to have broken the 5 GHz barrier. The 5 GHz barrier. It's sad because those practices actually ruin your brand image to the eyes of the people who actually inform themselves. And to be clear, the 9th gen i9-9880H and the i9-9980HK also have their maximum boost values of 4.8 and 5.0 GHz respectively, inflated by 200 MHz by the thermal velocity boost. And in those processors, this technology is even more useless because the CPU temperature has to be under 50 degrees Celsius.
Quando mai boostano sotto i 50 gradi.
Ma that's very useful if you work in those 4 milliseconds of computing. With 10th gen, this marketing practice spreads to the i7 SKU as well, which will make it even more deceptive towards the majority of customers comparing 9th to 10th gen, except for the very few people that really dig deep into the fine print and like this video. Anyway, I think what it truly is important for high-end computing is sustained performance. So when it comes to laptops, I don't see the theoretical max boost clocks that can be hit under 1000 conditionals to be a good metric of performance, unless you use only heavily single-threaded applications in very cold environments. The Ryzen 4000 series is just so superior to Intel's offering, and I think that a lot of laptop manufacturers really dropped the ball on this one. Right now they are realizing their mistake of not investing in Ryzen 4000, and they are seeing this as a missed opportunity. The Zephyrus G14 will sell well not only because it's an amazing product, but also helped by the fact that there are really no comparable products on the market yet. And if you haven't, make sure to check out my detailed video about it, where I cover all the ins and outs that you need to consider for each use case. What the G14 is missing is an affordable 1440p screen option. And for the people who like to sit closer to the screen and love high resolution displays, a 4K one. But the other, arguably bigger group that will not be satisfied with the G14 is enthusiast gamers that enjoy playing on a 240Hz low response time display, and a company that comes out with a Ryzen 4000 well executed product that targets that demographic will have a successful laptop in their portfolio. Those types of gaming laptop have to be paired with an RTX 2070 or higher for almost any title if you really want to take advantage of that 240Hz screen. Keep in mind that you should arguably not be looking at the average frame rate that those GPUs can push, but at those low frame rate dips when a lot of things are happening, and that's where frames per second are most critical. Keep that in mind if you're interested in the G15. It's a little unfortunate that even Asus, that jumped on the Ryzen 4000 series hype train sooner than anyone, didn't refresh their more premium and thermally capable laptops such as the Zephyrus GX 531 or the Zephyrus S newly refreshed lineup with Ryzen 4000 processors in them. And Intel 10th Gen in those high premium Zephyrus also gets liquid metal pre-applied to improve thermals, and that will actually be more impactful in performance than the whole jump from the 9th to 10th Gen. Just imagine the same thing with a Ryzen 4900 HS. That would be even better because it would enable the GPU to hit higher clock speeds thanks to more thermal headroom, because the CPU is not so obnoxiously taxing on the thermal dissipation capabilities of the laptop as the Intel 9 and 10 Gen are. So now that OEMs have realized how much better Ryzen 4000 is, I would be a very surprised Pikachu if in the next 6 to 12 months we were not to see high-end gaming laptops with AMD chips. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe and don't forget to drop a like if you found it helpful. Definitely subscribe. Hey Intel, you're so hot.